The Premier League, absolutely fascinating stuff happening. Arsenal are just refusing to lie down. They took on West Ham. They had already met West Ham twice this season. And West Ham have had the better of them. So they went to the West Ham Stadium or the London Stadium and they absolutely destroyed them by 6 goals to nil. Take a look. Absolutely destroying West Ham and going to 52 points, level with Manchester City. Listen, we can say all we want and talk about Arsenal having the tendency to bustle it or whatever. But this season, Arsenal are just refusing to die, at least not early.
It takes you back to Fulham and I think Bournemouth, somewhere in December, and where Arsenal could have been, but for those defeats. But the good thing this time around is that they've managed to shake that off. We're beginning to see a more ruthless side of Arsenal, which we expected to see at the beginning of the season after they made that outlay for Kai Havertz, in the sense that if you needed goals, if you missed out on the Premier League last season because in the home stretch you simply could not find the legs and the goals to get you over the line, and you shell out north of £67 million, the expectation will be that the player who comes in either produces the goals or contributes in the creation of those goals. That has not happened for half a season. But all is not lost yet. They're still in the picture. And this is the time when he has to show that inspiration. Unfortunately, he was not the man at the heart of it. It was all about Martin Odegaard and then Bukayo Saka. But Arsenal wouldn't care. You just want to see consistency from them and for them to show a bit more personality, because when City have won the league, when Liverpool have won the league, the big personalities in that team have stood out in the home stretch of the season. And that's what you expect to see from Arsenal. I don't think Gabriel Jesus or Eddie Nketiah are the guys to do that. Maybe Bukayo Saka, to a certain extent, Martin Odegaard, because he's not a match winner in the strictest sense. But you want to see that Kai Havertz is able to make a significant contribution one way or the other, because Arsenal will need someone to step up. And if they spend the most amount of money on him, it is not out of place to expect that he chips in with some contribution.
Collins, you are a Liverpool fan, obviously, but I'm looking at Liverpool with the intention of having a fairy tale end to the season, and what Arsenal are doing with all the wins from last season. Talent-wise, both teams might not be at the same level. I think Liverpool are probably maybe a couple of steps better, but this Arsenal team, they've been here before, and it didn't work out. This season, when you watch them, do you think they've learned their lessons?
They've actually learned their lessons and upgraded the team by adding players like Havertz to the team. But there's one thing with the Premier League. The dynamics have shifted and has been altered in such a manner that it takes perfection to win. Arsenal don't.
Wow. Interesting. So, for me, this was a game where I felt Arsenal were simply unplayable. You know, I think West Ham had no solutions whatsoever, and they deserved it. West Ham. I mean, if that was Chelsea, they suddenly turned into prime Barcelona of 2009.
But that's the point.
That's
the point Atta made, that Arsenal have to look like this every weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what he means by they have to be perfect. And
it's like one West Ham.
That's quite an ask.
Had beaten Arsenal at home in the league.
Yeah.
And them out of the Carabao Cup or something.
League Cup, yeah.
Look, I mean, it can't continue. So for the first time in 99 years, West Ham were looking to beat Arsenal 3 times in a season.
That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to happen.
But the beautiful thing about the setup was that they tried through the middle. It didn't work for 30 minutes. And then they switched to the set pieces, overloading certain spaces within the box. And my pick of the bunch was Gabriel Magalhaes' header. You could see that it had been worked out, thought of. The first goal came from the back post, and this one was from the near post.
And the offside positioning of Kai Havertz before Magalhaes made the run inside, it was beautiful decoy.
For me, the highlight of the game was definitely Declan Rice's goal, because he was giving a lot of stick in that first leg when West Ham beat them, and then the fans started singing, "You should have signed for a better club. You should have signed for a bigger club." And now he's come and he's scored an absolute belter. Let's talk about a team that is also in a bit of a resurgence, all right? The manager is now talking big. He says they can beat anybody. Man United went to Aston Villa. Aston Villa were a top 4 team when Man United visited there. And United somehow got a 2-1 win to everybody's surprise. United winning by 2-1. Listen, Collins, United, they found their form again. What's that down to? Is it the key players? They're all coming back from injury. Casemiro, most notably. Martinez came back last week, but then got injured again. But United seem to have found a bit of rhythm, a bit of stability with them.
And the out-of-goal scoring had been restricted to a few people. And the key members, key elements within the attack were not firing. Talk about Rashford and his profligacy, leading to that long drought. And then Bruno Fernandes's goals drying up from midfield. So the goals were firing few, and they were conceding a lot more. But this time around, they get 3 chances and likely to hit the target twice. One of them suddenly results. So you look at the confidence of these players and the art of building it. You could say that Rasmus Højlund was doing pretty well in Europe. But whenever he came to the Premier League, it became a different story for him. His head was down at some point, but it didn't kill him. He actually killed it. And he needed to get the first one in. And as soon as he did, you could see some confidence coming into his game. That goal he scored against West Ham propelled his action this weekend. You could see this as a player playing with confidence and freedom. Whenever an attacker does that, even if he misses 5 chances in a game, he's optimistic he'll get another one. That is going to be a goal. So there is cutting edge to their play, and they aren't as jittery as before. But then again, the manager shouldn't be talking big, because you look at what they have currently. If Oli Watkins, who has proven to be one of the best finishers in the league this season, had that confidence around his ability, Rasmus Højlund has right now. That game is a game Aston Villa could have turned on its head easily. Then again, they were profligate, and then they met a very good goalkeeper. You put all these things together, it comes to a point where you say that we have patches for players, and players make a team. The team is also going to have a patch. Manchester United are having a patch.
You talked about the confidence and what have you. What has changed about Højlund? Has he always been the same, or something significant has changed that he's now finding the back of the net?
I think he's playing with a bit more confidence and assurance now. Obviously, as I explained, what confidence does for a striker, but you also find that there are less and less instances of players getting in his way. So you'd realize that the sticky wicket period coincided with the purple patch of Scott McTominay. A lot of the positions that he was taking, including the goal that McTominay scored, are centre-forward positions that he should be taking, which means that's a service that alternatively should be coming to him, or ordinarily, not alternatively. But you had this weird situation where the centre-forward was not the man that the service was coming to. It was going to other players. I mean, you would find situations where Antony gets into a very good wide position, Alejandro Garnacho as well, and they back themselves to score instead of finding the centre-forward who by trade is supposed to be scoring the goals. And so I think there's a bit of that. They may have received some talking to. Not necessarily, not a matter of trust. It's just the instruction that they are being given, that get the ball into those zones, because you do not have the authority to make those decisions just yet, that you want to attempt to score in every situation.
All right, let's go to Liverpool Football Club. Liverpool absolutely dismissing Burnley there by 3-1. What about Manchester City? They took on Everton, and dear, oh dear, they have missed Erling Haaland. He scored a brace to give them a very comfortable 2-0 win. And now those three are absolutely inseparable. Liverpool on top with 54 points. Arsenal and Man City behind, 52 points each. And Man City is the one that have played one game less. So if they can get a victory in that game, that would be it. Quick thoughts on how the title race is chasing up. By the way, Chelsea is currently drawing 1-1 with...
I'm surprised They are not down already, but there's still some time for that. So
I felt this one they were going to win comfortably.
Yeah?
there's still some time for Palace to wrap it up. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, everybody expects, well, not everybody. I think there was a point where people expected that Liverpool, Man City would win the league. But given the emotions at Liverpool right now with the club announcement and Arteta celebrating like jogging club, it is shaping up to be some dramatic end.
Again, nobody has got the tools to do what Manchester City are doing. And the best way to counter what they are doing is to give them a very big gap entering the second part.
Yeah.
It has proven to be the only workable formula as adopted by Liverpool in the 2019-20. Anytime Liverpool have gone toe-to-toe with them, they end up edging them with a point. The only change in the dynamic this time around is that if Liverpool are able to hang in, and I mean every bit of that, you have to hang in and hope that you beat them at home because you have a game against them.
Wow.
The only way out. Other than that, you can even beat them, but you won't comfortably beat other teams like they would do.
That's true.
And they have every chip in their armory going to...
They've got white players,
look at it. Look at it.
So it's
they
amazing.
understand that if Liverpool were playing Arsenal for a league title, I'll be a lot comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's Manchester City.
I've got news for the two of you.
Juventus?
Chelsea have just scored the winner. And you know who? Conor Gallagher scored a brace.
Oh, wonderful.
Against Palace.
Against Palace. Yeah. A team he spent a season on loan at.
He knows the
And the gods great. The gods of football, we thank you. The gods of football, we thank you. A key reminder again, for those of you, like I said, slagging isn't working. So forgive us. So the number is not on your screen. But I'm going to mention it to you, 0240-910-330. Very easy, 0240-910-330. Lots of you have sent in messages already. Those of you that bothered enough to write it down or tap it down on your phone and save it. Hagens is sending this message from Bichin, and he says, my plea is to the journalists concerning the demo, they should be in one accord in discharging this course. We did their back. I love your panelists, he says. Thank you. This message says, my name is Prosper, currently in Tamale. My darling club Barcelona need an antidote. I can't even watch their game again. Oh, what a bomb. This is a good evening, fan. I'm enjoying your program here in China, Upper East region. I think this AFCON is the best I've ever seen.
There's China in the Upper East region?
Yeah,
yes. China.
Oh, I heard China.
No, I said China.
Right.
It means you've never heard it.
That was Abuga Pele's constituency.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not been there.
China. It's in the Upper East region. I think this AFCON is the best I've ever seen. The only disappointment was the third and fourth place match. I'm particularly happy Nigeria did not win. This is Castro Steven from China. He sent in that message. There's more here. This one says, good evening, Sports Zone. My Arsenal is taking the trophy this season. Amen. And then this is Queen Kisses of Ghana Air Force, he says. So he sent us a nickname and tell us where you work. Brilliant. Fantastic, isn't it? Good evening, guys. The people at the FA are simply not serious and they're clueless. Hence our abysmal performance at the AFCON. Green in Soweto sent in that message. This one says, good evening. Guys, has the transfer caught Mr. Kwali Satapoku to join sports or what? Congrats to Ivory Coast. This is from Mutala Tanko. No, he's visiting. He's our very good friend. This message says, hold on, it says, good evening, City versus Chelsea next week. Okay, so what? You've got a prediction? Let us know. You're watching Sports Zone. Sending your messages. The number to do so is 0240-910-330. 0240-910-330. When we come back from this break, we'll take you to Spain and then to Italy and Germany, where there was a fascinating game between Leverkusen, coached by Xabi Alonso, and Bayern Munich, coached by Thomas Tuchel. The result was not pretty. What is going on with Thomas Muller's Bayern Munich and Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich? What is going on there? What really is going on? We'll talk about that as well as look ahead to The Champions League run of 16 matches happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. Don't flip your dial. All right, welcome back. You're watching Sports Zone on Joy Prime. My name is Fencho Tahir Fencho. We are on the last leg of the show. We are on from now till 10:30. Proudly brought to you by Pride Bet, Hunters, as well as Syntex Tank. Lots of your messages have coming as well on that WhatsApp number, which is 0240-910-330. 0240-910-330. This message says, I'm sending, this is interesting. This message is from, it says he's watching us from Tumu. Chuck sent that message from my people. Okay, Chuck. And he says, good evening, City versus Chelsea next week. I'm watching you guys from Tumu, Upper West Region. Big shouts to everybody in Tumu for always locking down on this show. This message says, Emmanuel Agbeko in Sowakope. He says, you guys are doing a good job. I think Man United is finding their rhythm. Leverkusen is some form this season. Bye to Tuchel, he says. Rodri and Vini all the way. Come, whatever. City is winning. Kudos to Cote d'Ivoire. How many things did he say in this one message? Emmanuel Agbeko. He says, I think United are finding their rhythm. That's first comment. Leverkusen is on form. Bye to Tuchel. Rodri and Vini all the way. Come whatever, City is winning. Kudos to Cote d'Ivoire.
His summary teacher will be very proud.
Yes. Emmanuel Agbeko, thanks for tuning in, as usual. I've got more messages here. This one says, hey, so when Mango celebrate AFCON in Ghana? Prosper, in Tamale. Prosper, you and I are asking the same question. Dominic says, you used to call me chicken. I love your show, and your great analysis are always on point. It was one of my students at King's College.
Call him chicken.
Why would you call me out? I had a lot of nicknames for the students. To be fair, he looked like chicken. No, I'm joking.
What does chicken look like?
He was very small. I remember him now. I remember it because that nickname was unique. I called him chicken. Yeah, I wasn't a good teacher at all. Don't give your students nicknames. All the teachers watching. All this happens. Anyway, shouts to you, Dominic. I'm very proud of you. K Jr. from Techi says the elephants all the way. Well, they went all the way. This one says, hello, good evening, guys. I'm Sego Amoa. Greetings to Bishop. It says very intelligent, intellectual discussion. This one says his name is Nana Yao, inside Chantra Hill in Accra. It says, listen, bro, I'm highly disappointed in our sports journalists, especially those in Kumasi. The GFA disrespected you this much throughout this AFCON, and yet organized a press briefing, invited you disrespectfully once again, and you honored their call. This was the best opportunity to make them see how influential and important you guys are to the game. Shout to Bishop. Tell him that Enzo Fernandez just scored again. Sports Zone, my all-time favorite show. Yes, Enzo Fernandez just scored. Chelsea have beaten Crystal Palace by 3-1. Chelsea, who made to me? Can you?
Why are you shouting?
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
Why are you shouting?
It's just Palace.
Spain to be coming down.
It's just Palace.
Spain to be coming down.
It's just
coming
Palace.
Down. Be coming down.
City